Well, hello, my YouTube friends. After my latest video about Philippe Bourget, about Raphael Durand, I had to make the rhyme in en with THIERRY SAVIDAN, of course. But more importantly, I have to finish my trifecta videos about the Frenchie maker, the scores that I make in the recent Paris Blade show that were a blast. I absolutely love those shows, and they came just right after Las Vegas. I have to say that I was like ecstatic when I was going to say Las Vegas, but after the recent event, I have to say that it takes a little bit away of my enthusiasm now when I speak about Vegas. But whatever. It is how it is. Life must go on. So yeah, after the shows in Las Vegas, the Paris Blade shows took place a couple of weeks after, and I had the extreme pleasure not only to see my Frenchie makers that I like, but other makers from all around the world, and I had the extreme pleasure to receive my buddy Dalibor here in Paris for the first time. So yeah, those shows were just fantastic. And the icing on the cake were my scores, because I get to have one knife from Philippe Bourget at last, one knife from Raphael Durand at last, and another from my brother THIERRY Savidan, another knife, and I'm absolutely pleased. So this is the one that I'm presenting today. Absolutely pleased to have the chance to be the first, among the first, because this is a really small batch that he did of this new design, the XEROX. Absolutely exquisite design, absolutely love it, check that, just fantastic. We're going to review it, of course. So one of the very few, yes, to have the chance to have this new design, and I hope he will make more, because those knives are just perfect EDC. They are so sexy. Look at this line. This is something that you can tell it has to go with some refinement of the Frenchies. Check that. We're gonna review it, of course, but right off the bat, check the line of this knife. Just fantastic. And I don't know if it's a trend of the Frenchie, but doing those lateral flipper is I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, I think it's always good when you have something that defines your work better as a knife maker, and also as maybe as a country. I don't know, because you don't have a lot of lateral flipper. Or oh, speaking about lateral flipper, just a word. People are saying, you know, front flipper or whatever. Of course, it's in the front, but you have the real front flipper. Sorry, when I say the real, it almost sounds like if I have the ultimate truth, which is not. But there are front flipper that are in the front of the knife. So here, so those front flipper, actually you can get the tab with the index and deploy it like that. So they're not here, as they are used like back flippers. If you want to give a name to the regular one, would be back flipper. The front would be here. Here it's really lateral. I mean, it's on the lateral part, and it's really hard to reach with the index. You can, but it's really hard. So it's more like a thumb opening, or if you want to use the index, it has to be this way, you know. I don't know if I made myself clear, but this way, okay? So yeah, this, I would call it lateral flipper. It is actually the way we call it in France. Flipper latéral. Oh, some French in my videos. So yeah, regardless of the name, it is something that we see with Philippe, with THIERRY now, and it defines a little bit also like the Frenchy touch of flippers. And for those of you guys who like flipper, those are extremely addictive and snappy as hell. And as I said, you can use the thumb like that, as you can see, and the index like that is also very addictive. It's fun, it's fast. I absolutely love those kind of flippers. So really appreciate that. The line, the flipper, love that knife. So let's start the review, shall we? It's already almost 5 minutes and only ramblings. So let's start actually with the tab, okay? So the tab is a lateral one, and actually it is also an impact point, and it's very well designed in that for that matter, because you can grab your knife like that and really, I don't want to hurt my floor here, but really that works. Look at that, it fits, this convexity here fits perfectly in the palm. Here you have a very nice grab, no hot spot whatsoever. That is a tool, boom, impact tool for sure. Very nice, and he did it on that purpose too. The line is exquisite, as I told you, but I like the fact that, look at that, it follows perfectly. It's almost like if it's a part of the scale. So something that I abhor, I don't know if we pronounce the H, abhor or abhor, I don't know. But to insist a little bit more on that, I would say that I abhor on the flipper is actually the protrusion of the tab. For those of you who follow my video for a while, you know that. That's why I like the non-flipper flipper. That's why I like the SLT from Gus. That's why I like, I don't know, say it like the low-profile flipper tab from Bob Terzola. This is why, because I hate protruding parts. So on this one, check it. This is a part, regardless of the fact that it's a tool. It's a part of the scale. It follows here that line, and it follows here that line. So I wouldn't say that this is a protruding part. It's a part of the design. So it disappears when the knife is closed, and it disappears, of course, because it's here, when the knife is open. So that for me has all the features that I like, because it's a flipper. It's a different flipper, very addictive one, and it's one that doesn't interfere with the design of the knife. So this is also one of the reasons I absolutely adore that lateral flipper on that knife. So we have here a liner lock. So we have like the two liners with overlays of either marble carbon fiber on this one, which is nicely done, very nicely done, nicely finished. Thierry has a way to polish his things. It's just incredible. He made two that will become like true collectible. They are already true collectible, two in Koa, and those are the only one to be made in those. I had the chance to have one in my hand. It went to a dear friend of mine. I don't regret it because he's a dear friend of mine, but I regret the collectability of it, because no doubt he will make more of marble carbon fiber, probably Damascus. So I'm sure that the line will evolve, because this is a knife that anyone should have, and at least two, I would say. One for the carry, because that's a perfect EDC, and one for the collectability maybe. So yeah, the two in Koa, fantastic. So this one, marble, I absolutely love it too, and the line, the finish, which is not really the blackened titanium, but really darkish gray, you know, very, very nicely done. I like the touches that, you know, the small cuts that he does here. It brings some really refinement on it. Very nice. Then again, it's just an overlay with a screw. So this can evolve in like hidden hardware or more control. I don't know. He will see how he will get, how it will evolve with that design, that he should definitely keep on doing. So yeah, the line is absolutely fantastic. I mean, it fits so well in hand. This, when you grab it, you don't have any hot spot. I told you about the convexity on the knife, which brings so much fun and enjoyment when you have the knife in hand. It's so much better. The feel is so much better than a line that is like straight, that can, you know, slide in your hand. This holds perfectly well in hand without any hot spot whatsoever. On the other side, we have a clip that might be a little bit smaller than that, but it's just perfectly fitted for the pocket. I like the ceramic ball here, and I like the fact that it's perfectly integrated. Look at that, it's a 3D clip that is perfectly integrated, that doesn't bring a lot like the 3D clip usually, you know, they because of the 3D they will bring some more, you know, thickness on the knife. This one, because of the overlay here, it's almost aligned with the rest of the scale, which is something that I like. Very, very well integrated clip. Again, something he can make evolve if he decides to make like hidden screws. To be followed. The back spacer, absolutely love the back spacer. It's like, not on this side, that's a regular one. I like the satin finish that he does, you know, on the edges here. It brings some nice reflection, nice you know, play with the light. This is like a regular part, but I like here, the last side of it. When you look at it like that, it looks like it's not the backspacer. Like the flipper tab when it's closed, it looks like it's a part of the, let me close that. It looks like it's a part of the scale, you see? You cannot say here that it's the backspacer. So I like this like combination, like here you have the overlay, here you have the liner, and here you have the backspacer. And overall it makes a very even aspect here that I really like. So really appreciate the integration of material, integration of pieces all around on this knife. It is a very well thought knife, very well thought design, and a very well thought knife. Speaking about well thought design, check that wicked blade. Absolutely amazing one. Here you have a full hollow that has no bump whatsoever. Check that hand rub, exquisite hand rub. Now check the detail here. You have the flat here that follows. I'm not even sure that I will. Oh yes, you can see it. I cannot show it to you with my finger, but check that. You have the small flat that goes there, and that meets here the harpoon. That right there is just such a tiny and tedious work to do, and it's so refined that it blows my mind. Absolutely, because when you look at it like that, you couldn't tell. I mean, you say, yeah, there's a harpoon and that's it. But when you look at it from closer distance, you see this flat here. That is really a nice touch that I appreciate. And to get it done this way, without any scratch, without going to the hollow or leaving the frontier between this small flat, the hollow and the harpoon here, is just a phenomenal job. Look at that. Check that here. You have my greasy fingers that went here. Sorry about that. But you can appreciate the work involved here, and the design is really sublime. It cuts like nothing. Like I said, it's a user, so the grip here is nice. You can have a front grip too. There's no jimping here, so I wouldn't recommend. Maybe yeah, Thierry, this is something you should do. Maybe add some jimping. Of course, it will take away of the beauty, so I recant. Don't put jimping. Grab it like that. No, don't use the front grip. It's not a good idea because this can be dangerous for your index. Grab it here. You have the guard here and the overall aspect of the knife, which is very secure, that you don't need any more security that will hold in place. Don't use the front for sure, and don't put jimping because it will take away of the exquisiteness of the aspect of this knife, the overall aspect of this knife. I don't think it deserves some jimping. As you can expect from Thierry, of course, the action is sublime. This one is a little tiny bit sticky. I'm gonna put some graphite. I don't know why, because I played a lot with that knife. So here it went away. So here the detent. Check that centering. Spot on, absolutely perfect, unbreakable, and it's a liner lock, that is for sure. And yet you can deploy it, check, as smooth as that. So with a strong detent like that, with a snappy detent, as you can hear here, or here maybe here, you have the way to deploy it that is also. You don't have to break, as for the RJ Martin or the stronger detent, you know, you have to break them with your index and put a lot of effort to do that. This one is effortless. You can disengage it also like that. And that is an action that is, to me, mind-blowing. And I had to insist before shutting that video down. I had to insist on that. This is, to me, the balance of this detent on this knife is just incredible. You cannot have that on the Jauger, for example, but it's not a problem. But this is something really appreciable, to have a strong detent like that, and yet a way to disengage it, to open the blade as smoothly as that, or as snappy as that. And that, my friend, is absolutely awesome! And I'll leave it at that for that video. Bye-bye, my friend. It was a pleasure.